In 2024, during Chaitra Navratri, a young Bihari Neta, Tejasvi Yadav, committed a national crime. He ate a fish. And suddenly, the guardians of faith appeared. How dare he? How can he? This is an insult to the Hindus. Even Bengalis don't eat fish during these auspicious days. Ask Mamata Banerjee. Ask anyone.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi took on the opposition questioning their consumption of non-vegetarian food during the sacred Sawan and Navratri period.
उछाल के खाते हैं।
आप पूछिए ना बंगाल के बहन भाइयों से, वहाँ खूब मछली खाते हैं सारे हिंदू, लेकिन नवरात्र में वो भी नहीं खाते। आप ममता बनर्जी से पूछिए, क्या क्या नवरात्र में मछली खाती हैं?
अभी बताता है भाई, अभी बताता है, अभी तो उंगली किया ना, अभी बताता है।
Fast forward to 2026. Same country, same sacred festival of Chaitra Navratri. And ironically, Bengal it is. Suddenly, the fish during Navratri is no longer a sin. It is no longer an insult to the god. Why? Because for them, Mahamanav is the god.
भगवान है, दूसरा राम अवतार है। कौन? मोदी।
ये चीजें देखता हूँ, मन को इतना संतोष होता है।
Last Bengal election, Mahamanav arrived with a beard, ditto like Rabindranath Tagore.
যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে, তবে একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো রে, একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো রে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ।
वाह, क्या एक्टिंग कर रहा है। This election, the long beard is gone and the katla fish has arrived.
Eat me, vote BJP, Vande Bharat.
A party once seen as upper class, Sanskritized, vegetarian, is now learning recipes, that too non-veg. Today it is fish, tomorrow who knows what.
जय श्री राम, जय गौ माता। मैं रविंदर सिंह, आपका भाई भोला को आप सभी जानते होंगे।
But honestly, I am thrilled. This is a fantastic change of heart. Thank you BJP for finally prioritizing public health over manufactured public outrage. Finally, after years of telling people what not to eat, you have discovered what people actually eat. If eating fish openly on the campaign trail makes your brainwashed followers realize that they too can consume actual protein without being labeled anti-national, then please eat, feast, and if required, burp loudly on national television.
Excuse me, I didn't mean to.
Because in a country where up to 45% of women in your own heartlands are suffering from severe anemia, where generations are physically stunted due to protein deficiency, your sudden politically motivated dietary enlightenment is the greatest public health initiative you have ever launched. Now to the common man. Guys, wait. Before you start dreaming of this grand buffet, before you marinate that katla fish, you must address a tiny, insignificant detail. How exactly are you going to cook it? Because the cylinder The humble red LPG cylinder is no longer just a kitchen appliance. It is a luxury asset. So how does a visionary government explain it to the struggling masses? Do they admit the failure of their government policy? No, they don't. They activate the ecosystem. They send in the holy messengers.
ये माताएं मान लो इस बात को, चूल्हे की रोटी से जीवन ज्यादा अच्छा था और धुआं होता था, बस एक प्रॉब्लम थी धुआं। लेकिन गैस की रोटी से कितनी बीमारियां हो रही हैं, आज आपके घर के पुरुषों में दम नहीं रहा।
According to this enlightened soul, those rotis you are puffing up on your modern gas stove, they are slowly destroying your family. They are making your men weak.
से हर बार गर्म करके ठंडा ही छोड़ देते हैं हमको।
बहुत गर्मी है, चकला पे बिठा दे।
तौबा तौबा तौबा।
He gently reminds the mothers of India that life was so much better, so much purer with chulhe ki roti. Just a minor problem, a tiny negligible side effect. The women of the house may lose 10 years of their lung capacity just trying to make you a dinner. She might develop asthma. She might inhale the toxic equivalent of 400 cigarettes a day. Hey, look at the bright side. Until she leaves, she can enjoy a good life. If you ever wonder why this government is actually promoting these babas, you have your answer. To romanticize poverty, to rebrand economic failure, to make you feel that the problem is not the system, but your lifestyle. But somehow connecting the LPG shortage with your private sex life. Checkmate, isn't it? Because for an Indian man, is there anything more important than this?
Men will be men. Seagram's Imperial Blue Super Hits Music CDs.
Credit back credit is due. We have to give it to them. If there is one thing, one absolute undeniable superpower this government possesses, it is the fine art of narrative management. They are the undisputed heavyweight champions of diverting attention. The sheer volume of failure we have witnessed over the past 10 years or 12 years and the breathtaking audacity with which they divert our gaze is just insane. Distraction after distraction. Top of them all, a 1 lakh seater stadium, a blue jersey, a man hitting a leather ball with a wooden stick. National pride restored. And if there is not enough to distract you, they give you the cinema, the Dhurandhar type movies, 2 pots of pure, unadulterated, eardrum shattering hyper-nationalism. And then what? You get the adrenaline rush of superpower without the government actually having to build one. You get the satisfaction of justice without questioning a single real injustice. You get to feel powerful while remaining powerless completely. You get to defend the system even as a system fails you. Dear Indian brothers and sisters, if this is your definition of patriotism, if patriotism for you means only painting your face for a T20 match, if it means only chanting in a cinema hall for a fictional soldier, but never raising your voice for actual real world accountability, then you are not a patriot. You are the frog in the boiling water, cheering for the chef who is cooking you without a LPG gas cylinder. The traditional patriotic smoke-filled chulha, slowly, gently, culturally. The chef doesn't even need to put a heavy lid on the pot to stop you from jumping out. No, he just sends in the ecosystem. Enter the godman. Do not jump out, my child. The water is not boiling. The water is purifying you. Jumping out of the pot is a Western concept. Look at how beautifully your flesh is melting. It is a glorious return to the Satyuga. And what does the proud, brainwashed, chest-thumping frog do? They fold their hands. They close their eyes. They inhale the toxic smoke of the chulha. And they thank the chef for the absolute privilege of being on the menu.
मोदी मेरी गाड़ वाले मैं वोट मोदी दूंगा। मोदी जी जो ख्वाहिश मांग रहा है इनका ख्वाहिश को पूरी कर दो आप।
But occasionally, very rarely, a frog actually wakes up, looks around and realizes, wait a minute, I am dying. This isn't a salvation. This is a slaughterhouse. It decides to rebel. Does the chef panic? No. He reaches into his pocket and shows, look what I have for you. Katla fish. Cooked in pure mustard oil just for you. We respect your local culture. We are embracing your protein. Look how much we have changed. And what does the rebellious frog do? The frog looks at the delicious Port Bank fish. The frog completely forgets the unaffordable cylinder, the toxic air, the poisonous water, the missing jobs, the rising prices, the collapsing infrastructure, everything. The frog looks at the shiny new PR campaign and thinks, wow, Katla fish. They are finally listening to us. They really do care about my diet. Maybe we judged them too harshly. Maybe things were never that bad. Maybe this time it will be different. So the frog relaxes, loosens its guard, softens its anger, cancels its grand rebellion, and gently sits back down in the boiling water, waiting patiently for a feast that was never meant for it. This is Brown Enlightenment, where we don't clap for the magic trick. We expose the magician. Beware, don't be a boiling frog. Jai Hind.
যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে, তবে একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো রে, একলা চলো, একলা চলো।